Hey guys, to start off, I do need to say I struggled trying to pick a book to do this segment on. Not because I don't like reading, but because I actually do, and I am torn for which book I would like to talk about. I ended up going with one I probably have the most history and memories with, and ended up choosing the Half Blood Prince. It sounds pretty mainstream, although it is one of my favourite books, and I've read it too many times that I've probably now lost count. I own the first edition of this book that was first published in Great Britain in 2005 by the publishing company Bloomsbury. The story has been authored by J.K. Rowling, and this edition's artwork has been illustrated by Jason Cockcraft. The book was printed and bound here in Australia by Griffin Press, and there is also just a small note down there stating that this edition has been printed with natural and recycled materials, which is awesome for the environment. As stated, this is the first edition, although there is another first edition printed and released at the same time, and that is the American edition, published by Scholastic. There are changes to both editions, notably with certain words and sentences that attract more of an American English market. Almost a year after the first edition of the hardcover was released, a new edition soon followed, and that was the paperback form in 2006. An adult edition was released not long after, followed by a deluxe edition, a special edition, and a signature edition. Also to mention that this book has been translated into 67 different languages. The word count stands at just under 170,000 words, and the English audiobook has been read by Stephen Fry and the American version by Jim Dale. So you have the dust jacket, the board, spine, and then up here the head, tail, paste down end paper, half a title page, the full title page, the bibliography, and then you got dedication up here, and then you got the chapter, the full body, and on the back you have the blurb. Just some reception of the work. So far, the story has sold 65 million copies around the world and has been received by generally positive reviews. Before publication, 1.4 million copies were ordered online on Amazon.com, and within the first 24 hours, 9 million were sold worldwide. In 2006, it won the British Book of the Year award, and also in the same year, it was listed by the American Library Association as one of the best books for young adults. In the same year, just before release date, there was a minor accident where at a Canadian bookstore, some copies were sold early. These consumers were asked to return the copies amid fears that the story would be leaked online before the release date. Um, so these consumers were pretty much bribed with a signed copy in return if they returned their original purchase. Um, with the book, I haven't really marked it. Like I don't really want to like write my name in it or anything like that, or like graffiti it in any sort of way. But I guess if the camera picks it up, well, not really. Um, you can see the page creases from time to time that I guess mark my spot where I've stopped or anything. Um, Also, the camera's yeah, sort of, it's getting there. You can see that the pages are now turning like to an off yellow or something like towards that color. Just because of its age, it's almost 10 years old now. The book. Also, there are some cracks in the binding. If I can sort of see it. Just shows how often I've used it. And just to show that the age of the book, comparing this almost 10-year-old book to say a book I've owned for like 2 months, the pages are pretty white compared to pretty yellow, but in the camera they sort of look the same down the camera. Alright, so just to start off my reflection, looking back at this book series wide, this is my favourite out of all seven. It is the book that I've read most times and the only book that I have read electronically. I gave it a go and I really didn't like it. I just really prefer the real thing. Being that it was almost now 10 years ago that I first purchased the book, I can't remember where I bought it, but I do remember when, July 2005. And I remember reading it non-stop pretty much, just so I didn't get any outside spoilers because everyone was reading it at the time. and I didn't want any mates ruining the ending for me. For me now, this book has opened up my eyes in a sense that I do look at things differently. I always seem to see the good in people now. I sympathise with them, with the situation that they're in, no matter what of the circumstances. It's something that I now believe that this book and its characters have taught me. And in case you're wondering, yeah, big one.